Hey, it is good to be back. This is Darren. It's a Sunday afternoon, and it has been a minute, as the youngins like to say, since I've done a video. And I've heard it. I've heard it from my, 5 followers. They want their content, and I've let them down. But it is here. A fine Sunday afternoon. I'm listening to a little Crowder on the turntable behind me. A little worship music for Sunday afternoon. Trying to, with these videos, tell you a little bit more about myself. Why I do these things. Why I enjoy music so much. Why I enjoy the records I like. Because that's really what this is about, right? Is to really get to know people and maybe get to know some new music. So anyway. Today's video is going to be all blind buys. Blind buys. That's kind of what I've been doing lately. Now, so what does that mean? What's the definition of a blind buy, right? I think there's probably 2 ways of thinking of it. One is going into a record store or ordering a record online, however you're shopping these days, and you have not heard it, you don't know the artist, maybe somebody recommended it to you. So that's one way of thinking about it. The other way is maybe you know the artist, but you didn't know that album, you didn't know that music, or maybe it's from an era of the music that you maybe you didn't follow or didn't like. So it's really buying a record and not knowing much about it. So we're going to be talking about blind buys today, and I honestly think it's more fun, right? I don't know, we all know the music we love and what's important to us, but we all have these little devices that we can stream music on, and you can kind of hear it wherever and whenever you want. That was wherever and whenever you want. Enunciate, okay? But where was I? But with the blind buy, it's just you have to learn some things. You have to know a little bit about yourself and what you like. And whether it's a genre or an era of music or a style or a type of music. And then you just kind of have to trust your gut and say, well, I'm looking at this record. I know the label, I know the artist, or maybe I don't know the artist, but I do know the label, and it's put out something that I've liked in the past. And sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. But I think it makes the process more fun for me. So tell me a little bit about what you guys do in terms of blind buys, what you're thinking. Do you do this? I don't know. I've got a few extra records laying around because of it that I don't really like that'll probably sell, but let's get into it, right? One of the cool things about blind buys is, and one of the cool things about this whole record collecting and vinyl community is the community end of it. So getting to know your record store owner, or listening to folks on YouTube and understanding what they like and what their suggestions might be. So this first one, Grant Lee Buffalo. Sorry, I got the glare there. Grant Lee Buffalo, Mighty Joe Moon. Get a good look at that. Back up, there we go. Still learning this whole video thing. This record, got a good buddy, spoke of in some other videos, owns a record store locally here, and he didn't have a lot of new stuff in terms from, picked through some things and really didn't see much, and he's like, hey, I kind of know what you like, and have you heard of Grant Lee Buffalo? I'm like, yeah. Never really, I couldn't think of one song, I don't own any of his music, never have. And he told me a little bit about it, and he's like, I think you want to give this a shot. And I was like $18, $19 or something, so I'm like, I'm going to trust you on this, and he actually said, if you don't like it, bring it back. So I still own it, so I liked it. Grant Lee Buffalo, this is from 1994, and Grant Lee Phillips and 2 other dudes made up this band, and the best way to explain it, I think it's kind of soulful. One, great songwriting. He's a fantastic songwriter, but it's got a lot of things from the 90s kind of mixed into one, so it's a little bit grungy. There's some kind of folksy side to it. It's a little alternative sounding. I really like the vocals on this. I like the way his voice sounds. It's a little rough and kind of deep and jagged sounding. Anyway, I really enjoy it. There's one fantastic song on here, Mockingbirds. Maybe you've heard it, but if not, check it out. If you want to get the whole album, I'd check that out too. Recommend this one. So that's a winner in terms of a blind buy for me. The second one was All on Me. I really enjoy this. So this wasn't recommended. It was just something kind of my gut. I really enjoy. I'm a drummer. I enjoy kind of world beat Latin stuff. I enjoy Ethiopian music. So my point is, I don't have to even understand the lyrics to enjoy music. So in this case, I got a record here from Iris Chicone, and she is also known as the Puerto Rican Bombshell. I guess she did a variety show in Puerto Rico. I think she's kind of a big deal in Puerto Rico. But this is just like some hot sauce. I mean, this is spicy Latin, full of energy, passionate, groovy, great drumming, great Latin rhythm music. A lot of energy, just fun. There's horns. There's, the vocals are good too. But this was one I just saw. I was going through kind of the world music section at the record store, and this one popped up. I thought I'd take a look at it, and just gave it a shot. It wasn't a whole lot of money, and just absolutely love it. And actually, posted that on Instagram and got a lot of comments, people that knew that artist and her stuff and just love her. So that's a big winner as well. This next one, I found it. I know the artist. I love the artist, as a matter of fact. And I actually knew of this album. I had just never listened to it. But the fun thing about this story was I was at a record store and, again, picked through some things, really didn't see much. And I was just getting ready to check out. I was getting ready to leave, and I was talking to the owner. And he had a pile of records sitting there. And I saw this, and he goes, I said, "Are those for sale?" And I, trying to look through everything he had. And he said, "Yeah, check them out." And so I found this one. Miles Davis, Miles Ahead, with Gil Evans. And this is sweet because it's a 6i white label promo and in really pretty decent shape. And he charged me $2 for it. This Columbia label you're all familiar with, but I had not heard this. I know a little bit about the album. I know that I saw the Miles Davis documentary, and I know he did not like this album cover, and I think they went to another album cover for later versions of this. So it's kind of cool to get the original and to get the white label 6i label on it. But I do like it. It's Miles, and he's working with Gil Evans, and they did some other things later. I think Porgy and Bess, and maybe one other record. But this one, he had a 19-piece band with him. So it was kind of, I don't know if this is a word, big bandish, but a lot of horns, a lot of, just a whole lot of music on this record. So not my favorite Miles record, but just it was kind of a cool find, and for $2, I'm glad to have it and gonna hang on to it. So now this next one was a recommendation from another dude on YouTube, Mike, over at the In Groove record store in Phoenix. I'm sure most of you have seen some of his stuff. If not, check it out. Great record store. He has just some great information, especially on jazz and on audiophile pressings, that kind of thing. So I'm really getting into that, just trying to find records that sound amazing. If you saw a couple of videos ago, I upgraded my turntable, just trying to get my sound dialed in, and we're all chasing it, trying to get something that sounds better. But this is Dire Straits, Love Over Gold, and Mike had listed this as one of his top 20 analog, completely analog records to own. Not this version. I think he was talking about the Analog Productions version that's out there that I guess is supposed to be just amazing in terms of the sound quality. But this version is just the regular repress. I'm not for sure what year this was from. Originally 1982, but so this is a repress. Still sounds great. The production value if you know Dire Straits, their stuff just always sounds good. It's produced immaculately, sounds great. Love the album. So this is one that I had not heard. Of course, I've heard Brother in Arms, and you know that's a standard for a lot of us. But this one sounds so good, and it's really probably one of the better sounding records that I own. So I'd love to get that Analog Productions or Acoustic Sounds, one of the two, version of it. But if you don't have that record, look it up. I know you can find it. It's not hard to get, especially there's some represses out there. But a couple great songs on there. There's an intro with some lightning. Actually, I think there's only 5 songs on the album, but again, it makes your whole sound system sound amazing. So now, moving on. I, Robot from the Alan Parsons Project. Not getting it, folks. I know this is kind of a prog story album about man producing robots and robots taking over, which I get it. I understand the kind of the thought behind it, but I don't know. And this one sounds good too. And I know the reviews. There's a lot of reviews on people love this album. Again, the production quality is fantastic, but I don't know. The version I have, it's not a great. This record does not sound that great on my system. But you definitely can tell that it was made well, it was produced well, and I just not getting it. There's like disco prog mashup and man and machine battling it out story kind of thing, but I don't know, maybe it'll grow on me. It might go into the trade bag and pick up something I really want. Finally, to end up, this one was it's a recommendation. Again, I had not heard the music. I know the artist, not heard the album, but I just kind of found this one. And in the back of my mind, I remember, I'm trying to remember who it was, but somebody in the vinyl community had posted this record and said it was a fantastic Sunday afternoon or a rainy day Sunday album. And so I saw it. I'm like, I got to give this a shot. Edie Swings the Blues. Edie Gourmet. This is the Edie from Steve and Edie. Steve Lawrence is her husband, or was her husband, and did a lot of recordings together. But this, first of all, come on, look at this album cover. That is just gorgeous photography, timeless. And on the back there, I love that photograph, and I had a friend comment on that as well, how he just loved it. But that is just a candid moment where she's actually listening to the recording back from this record. But this is on the ABC Paramount label. Really pretty good copy I got. Very clean, not a lot of noise or pops on it. So, but this is Edie, and basically singing a lot of blues standards. Got a right to sing the blues. Don't get around much anymore. Blues in the Night, Stormy Weather. Stormy Weather is worth it for this record alone. But it is, her voice is like, I don't know, honey butter, liquid, Chick-fil-A sauce all mixed up into one. I don't know what it is, but it is so smooth and golden and just classic sounding. And I love it. I really do. It's got that timeless kind of quality. You can pick this up and say, this is someone who knows how to sing, and this is someone who has some, a great band with her and some amazing recordings that are timeless. And it's not something I listen to every day, but again, like on a Sunday afternoon, something you're just trying to chill out and relax, and you want to appreciate someone who's amazing at their craft or has just a God-given ability to sing. This is great, and it's affordable, and I'd say check it out. So anyway, those were by no means in any order. It wasn't worst to first or anything like that. It's just 6 records that were blind buys for me, and I don't know, it's kind of fun. What have you guys been doing? Interested to hear what you've been looking through, what have you been finding. Do you do blind buys? I don't know. I think it's it's a risk reward kind of thing. So kind of fun to take that risk and see what you get when you get home. So anyway, thanks for listening. Hope you're all doing great. Until the next one. Peace.